Today we're talking about loneliness. And though you might not feel lonely right now, I think at some point in our lives we've all dealt with feeling lonely, even being in a room full of people. I know I have. Anybody else struggled with that? When we feel lonely, what are we seeking? Connection, understanding, being heard, being seen. You do at times, right? Loneliness isn't always about being alone, right? I mean, how in the world can I be married and still feel alone at times? Sometimes it's not about presence, but more about feeling unseen in whatever we might be going through. Not just feeling like we're being alone or the act of being alone, but lacking true connection. Friendship has been a crutch. Yeah. We can have a large group of friends, but not lacking that true connection that we need in a crowd of people, and I still feel alone. Yes. Does loneliness technically translate to a lack of self-care? It can. Yeah. You can feel lonely in a crowd, surrounded by loved ones, often not being seen, heard, or understood. Why does loneliness happen? We have life changes, loss of a loved one, loss of a friend, trauma, shifts in relationships. What if we've moved to a new place, a new job, and we're masking our true self to fit in? We're trying to not be ourselves because we're afraid of whatever it might be. What if we're masking ourselves and that's creating a feeling of loneliness? Because why? If we're masking ourselves, we're not being ourselves, so therefore we're not going to get that genuine connection with other people, right? If we're not being ourselves around people, how are we going to have that connection? So could it be our fault sometimes? Most definitely. We can't feel seen or heard if we're not being true to ourselves. And sometimes we just outgrow those relationships, those friendships. And that's okay. But what are some steps that we need to take in order to not feel lonely? It's scary to meet new people or being in a new environment with your personality. I will change yours. And I do too. I like keep it in a can until I get to know people. I know how I'm going to be able to. Am I going to be able to be myself around these people? Am I worried what they're going to think about me? Absolutely. That's a normal human. I feel like that's very normal for humans to do that. To worry about what other people are going to think of us. New people are new people. But if we're willing to put ourselves out there and be ourselves, and someone likes us for that, what a connection that we're able to create. Hold on 1 second. Sorry, child came in. Long-term loneliness can signal deeper needs for connection, right? If okay. Sorry. Long-term loneliness can signal deeper needs for connections. So what happens there? Are we trying too hard by masking ourselves even further? We're getting even more paranoid, what some people might think about us, instead of just being ourselves. Anyone have examples? When loneliness seems to be lasting a lot longer for us than just a short time. Just remember, loneliness is a chapter, it's not the whole book. And if that chapter is starting to get long, maybe we need to do some self-evaluation. Have I been isolating myself without realizing it? Maybe I don't even realize that I'm isolating myself and I'm creating that loneliness for myself. We do that, trauma does that. Big events, loss of a loved one, a friend, significant loss, there's a lot of things that can cause us to isolate ourselves, maybe unintentionally. In my dating world, when someone comes into my world, I may not see a red flag, only attention I crave. That's a hard one. Our need to be needed and to be loved can hurt us sometimes. Because they're filling that void that we need, that we're overlooking other things. We're overlooking red flags. We're overlooking how... And that's how sometimes we get taken advantage of. For sure. Another self-evaluation is, am I showing my real self to others? Again, are we being ourselves around other people to create that deep connection with others? Or are we having a surface level relationship with people? We're not being ourselves. We're worried what they think about us. We're creating a lonely environment for ourselves by not allowing deeper connection with others. We show our true selves, our real, we're able to be ourselves around people. That kind of connection is what our human desire is. Allow deeper connection when people are self-absorbed and neglectful. That's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. We need to find that deeper connection with people, but we also have to have boundaries. So if people are self-absorbed and neglectful, those are the wrong people, and we should not be allowing them any sort of space at all. one's allowing it. You shouldn't allow it. But sometimes we do because we have that desire to connect with someone, and it's a false sense of the idea of friendship or relationship. It's the likeness of the idea that they're a good friend when they're not. But most of society is all about themselves. Are they, though? Or is that what we just know? You're fine. I like devil's advocate. Or is that what we just know? You're fine. I like devil's advocate. Self-absorbed and neglectful is all I knew growing up, so it attracted me to the worst, in the worst way. Yeah. Why do we do that to ourselves? I don't know. I get it. I feel like that if we are genuine,
He's trying to play something.
if we're genuine and we have boundaries and we're true to ourselves,
She said no, don't
we
play.
may have people that take advantage of that. But if we have boundaries and we learn to take care of ourselves, then we shouldn't be allowing the self-absorbed, neglectful people in. Are old wounds or beliefs holding me back from connection? Ouch. So, is our childhood trauma, our relationship trauma, our old wounds from that, is that what's holding us back from finding connection with somebody? Hold on one second. I don't need most society. I'm aware that I'll have one or two at most. Yes. So, who needs a crowd of 20 friends that are just surface level, that are willing to go out and party and drink and whatever? But when it comes down to it, and you truly need a friend, who are you going to call? Who is the one person that you just got the worst news of your life? Who are you going to call? Are you going to call every one of them? Or do you have maybe two or three that you're going to call? Who's going to show up? You never know till you go through it, right? Who actually is going to show up? And the people that we think are going to show up, the ones that we've spent so much time with, going out and doing fun things with, what if they're not the ones to show up? It feels safer sometimes to revert back to what you know or raised with rather than what's best. Yeah, because it's uncomfortable, right? Change is uncomfortable. It's crazy to think that certain kinds of comfortable is so unhealthy for us because that's all we've ever known, that it's natural not to want to be uncomfortable. But once we reach the point of getting uncomfortable and we surpass that and we find peace, it gives us a whole nother meaning to change and growth and healing, right? So, energy, are my interactions draining or filling me? So our interactions with other people, are they draining? Maybe those are the wrong kinds of people, the wrong kinds of relationships. If they're draining us, that's possibly why we're feeling lonely. Are their interactions with people filling? Are they fulfilling? Are they challenging as us as a person? Is my interaction with my friend creating growth, or is it holding me back? If we feel stuck, then often we'll revert back to feeling loneliness, right? What about being authentic? Again, do people know the real me? And I'm not talking, do they deserve to know your entire story? Do they deserve to know everything about you? No. But are you able to be you in front of the people you're with and spending your time with? Do they have the same goals as you in life? Take a look around the people that you're spending time with. Are they going towards a future that your goals are? It's a vicious cycle and it can be broken. Exactly. If the people you're spending time with aren't going anywhere and they're not supporting any kind of growth for you towards your goals in life, perhaps it's time to veer away, not because they're bad friends, but maybe they're bad for you and that you're seeking something else in life, different goals. We need a different kind of connection in order for us to not feel lonely. Connection. Is there someone I miss that I could reach out to in a healthy way? That's a can of worms to be opened. Is there someone that I miss that I could reach out to? As in, did you have a deep connection with someone that maybe y'all lives just went separate ways for a bit? That you could reconnect with? Again, on a healthy level, not because we drew boundaries to protect ourselves. But also, touching base on what Taxman said, self-care check. Am I showing up for myself before I start trying to show up for these other people? If we're not showing up for ourselves and we're showing up for all these other people, we're going to feel lonely. Why? Because we're not taking care of ourselves. Nope, there's no saving myself, so I might as well try to save everybody else. So I don't mean that. I mean, okay, fair. Yours is a very different situation, Tommy, but you still have to take time to yourself, right? When you're sick, you have to take care of yourself in order to then be there for other people. Like last night, you were having to take care of yourself in order to not end up in the hospital so that you could be here today. Mentally. Physically is a lost cause mentally, yeah. But here's the thing. So I was just telling a friend earlier that I open my plate for other people to put more things on it because my need to be needed, they're filling my cup when they come to me. I can't that by coming to me, that's filling my cup. It's not adding more to my plate. And if I had so much added to my plate that I needed to say, I can't take on anymore, then I would say that. But at some point, I do have to say I need a break, which was Wednesday night. I said I needed a break and I couldn't do this mental health chat tonight. I posted and let everybody know I wasn't going to be live. I needed to take a break. It was my son's birthday. I was exhausted. I was sick. So I took a break. And now I'm here. Putting yourself first doesn't mean that you're selfish. Now, I hate the mentality, and I've said this before, I hate the mentality. I'm doing me. I'm focusing on me. I'm doing me. Are you actually, or are you just being selfish? And that you don't care what anyone else thinks, you're just focusing on yourself? If I'm doing me means I'm working on myself, I'm making myself a better person, then I think that statement's okay. But I'm doing me as in I don't give a crap about anyone else. I'm going to do me, and whatever that looks like, even if I hurt people in the way, that's not okay mentality. And that's going to leave you very lonely in life. But what is one small risk we could take in order to create a connection with other people? What would you consider a risk for yourself? Is it putting yourself out there for other people? Walking up to this person that you've seen it work multiple times, but you've never actually truly spoken to them? What's a risk to seek connection with people? This is mine. This is something that I've always wanted to do, is to just sit and talk with people. But I've always been so worried about what people might think about me that I've never actually done it until recently. And I still worry what people might think about me sitting here doing this. Do I have all the right words and answers? No. Am I a licensed therapist? No. But what I have done is I've sat on the phone and listened to people on the worst days of their lives, that it made me wonder, had they been able to talk to somebody prior to having to make this phone call, could I have been that person that they spoke to? Having lost my best friend to her own demons, what if I had been more available? The what ifs are always going to be there when we lose somebody to self-harm. The what ifs are always going to be there. But if I can do my best to take away some of those what ifs, that's why I'm here. When have you felt the most lonely? Once you start to put yourself first, which is scary, the power I didn't know I had. Exactly. So, when have you felt the most lonely? And what helped you? When is a time that you felt the most lonely? Anyone? I can go back when I stepped away from a codependent relationship. Yes. My first marriage, even with a husband and 3 children, I was and hosted parties all the time. I felt the most lonely at that point. I felt like I had no one I could trust, no one that I could go to, that I almost lost it. What helped? Getting away. Perhaps it's not the lack of people in our lives, perhaps it's that type of people or the people that were in our lives at that point that was creating the sense of lonely. They're there, but I don't feel seen or heard or understood. So leaving and finding someone that I could connect with and feel seen was what cured the loneliness, right? When you depend on someone for approval for everything, you had to learn to find approval within. Exactly. That's what I mean by taking care of yourself, is being at peace with yourself and finding the approval of yourself to then... Exactly. If we feel safe with ourselves, then we can find safety and connection with others. Loneliness is a signal, not a sentence. It is our brain telling us that we're seeking something that we're currently not getting, whether it's the people that are around us or being self-isolated, maybe unintentionally. Nothing hurts more than feeling that no one will understand you in a room full of people. Bingo. So I can go back to another time that Jeremy and I felt very, very alone together. Back in 2020, I was just a couple months postpartum, and I received a phone call from my brother admitting that he had done some terrible things to my children. And the moment I hit that floor, I felt so alone, even while holding my own child in my arms. That is a day that I play back in my head over and over and over. Those words. Sorry, guys. I talk about it a lot because I think it's important that we're not alone. But we went through a very long day after that with the police and making reports. Long months. It's been 5 years, and it has been a very long 5 years. But the first year, I was told, don't speak about it. Don't tell people. Why? Why should we not tell people about that? Why do Jeremy and I need to keep quiet? Is it to protect my family's reputation? Oh, hell no. Well, you're not supposed to talk about it. It's going to look bad. It's going to make your children a target. No. The moment I decided to speak up and tell parts of my story, now all of it is not mine to tell. It's not mine to tell. When they're older, if they want to tell, it's theirs to tell. But I spoke what I could that I felt was me asking for help. And the amount of people that came forward for Jeremy and I and said, we've dealt with this. You're not alone. You are not alone. Here's what we did. And suddenly we didn't feel alone. Speaking up and finding connection with other people, even in really heavy context and heavy trauma, is important. We have to. Now, that doesn't mean that everyone deserves to know everything. Give a little bit, and then give a little more. See what you get fed back. Don't just. Sometimes we like to trauma dump. I'm bad about it. But I don't just dump on everybody. I give a little bit, and I give a little more. I test the waters to see if that connection is genuine. Has it hurt me in the long run before? Yes, it has. But you know what? Lesson learned, and we keep going. If we don't allow a good connection to happen, we will never have those good connections. Small steps towards connections can change everything. Again, we don't have to give our all the first time, or the second time, or the third time trying to create connection with somebody. To view it in reverse, loneliness is preventable through connection. Not always. Maybe genuine connection. What are we seeking? That's, again, it's kind of a self-evaluation of, are we self-isolating without realizing it? And why? What do we need? Am I allowing myself to be myself? Feeling alone and isolated is the number one statistic for those that aren't here anymore. Yes. Are wounds, trauma, or old beliefs holding me back from connection to people? Here, I'm just going to Google really quick what Google says. Loneliness. I should have done that earlier, and I apologize. Loneliness is a feeling of sadness because one has no friends or company. Feelings of depression and loneliness. The facts of being without companions or solitariness. The quality of being unfrequented. Wow, that's a long word. I'm sorry. And remote. The isolation. So feeling isolated. Not feeling connection. So maybe it's not a good connection. Maybe there's a connection, but it's not a good one. When my dog passed, I was sitting next to my parents. We were all together, but I felt lonely. You were experiencing a significant loss. Your companion that had been there was lost. You were there, you were together. Loneliness is a natural feeling, a natural emotion. But we do have to explore connection and reflect on ourselves and work towards overcoming that emotion, right? We feel it, we process it, we question ourselves. sorry, maybe not question, I don't like that word. Maybe we self-reflect on why it's still there, why it's lingering, and what can we do to fix it. We couldn't comfort each other, and it's okay. I was feeling alone, and they were near. Exactly. Is it harder to be alone or feel lonely around others? What do you think is harder? Is it harder to be alone or to feel lonely around others? I know this one for me. Anyone else? Welcome in. I'm sorry. Lonely around others. So mine's opposite. Because I have this sense, which is still toxic, we're working on that I would rather surround myself with people and feel lonely, even with people around me, because it's a false sense of not being alone versus just being alone. And I kind of wonder if that's the difference in men and women, maybe. Because I think there's more of the lonely around others for men. I'm curious now, than being alone. I would much rather feel alone in a crowd full of people because it's a false sense of there's people here and I can trick my mind. I'm not lonely. I'm here. There's a bunch of people here. Are they doing anything for me? No. Are they? It could be an abusive relationship, but at least I'm not alone, right? That's how this works sometimes for me. Fair. That's probably true. More a personality type than a gender. I think you're right. Men are more tolerable to being around the guys even if it's not meaningful. It's more of an opportunity for someone to ask me what's wrong than I'm lonely around others. Exactly. I don't like sitting alone by myself. I don't like that at all. If I'm feeling lonely and upset and I'm completely by myself, my thoughts are so much worse than if I had those same thoughts in a crowd full of people. Why? Because I'm distrusting myself and I'm trusting the wrong people. If I'm feeling lonely in a crowd full of friends, I need to self-reflect. Why am I feeling lonely in this crowd full of friends? Are they not the friends for me? Do I not have a deep connection? Am I creating this for myself? Again, it's all about self-reflection. Only I can answer that about myself. Only you can self-reflect and decide what it is for yourself. I don't think anyone else could tell you. You don't have to fix it all at once either. Just start with one small step a day. Hello, welcome in. Don't let yourself sit for long periods of time and feeling lonely. It's not always about being alone. Sometimes it's just about feeling unseen. But if we're not letting ourselves be seen, how can we feel seen? We have to allow ourselves to be truly seen in order for us to feel seen. Do you think it's the general small talk we instill into other people we meet and dismissing real conversation? Yes, for sure. The surface level relationships. Now, not everyone deserves to see below surface level, but if we don't get below that surface level, how do we have a true connection with other people? If we don't put ourselves out there in order to be seen and have that connection, how's it going to be there? It doesn't just magically appear. Thank you so much, you guys. Again, if we're in a room full of our friends and somehow we're still feeling lonely, perhaps we're outgrowing those relationships, those friendships. Is TikTok enough to qualify as a means to truly eliminate loneliness, or is it just masking? I think it's whatever you allow it to be. Do you see every bit of my life on TikTok? No. But I am a very honest person who desires deep connection, and so I'm a very open person. I'm willing to share my deep connection with you guys, and if you're willing to give it back, I'm here. I really feel like it's whatever you can put into it. Is it easy for us to mask ourselves on the internet? Absolutely. People live double lives on the internet. It's very easy to live a double life on the internet. But it's also really easy to be very open on the internet. I have major depressive order coupled with reclusive. TikTok is how I connect. That's okay. If you're connecting with people, I think you're a very genuine, loving person, and I really enjoy your presence. It is whatever you allow it to be. Would I love to encourage you to try and build genuine connection outside of TikTok? Absolutely. I think it's a wonderful thing to have. Is it hard to do when we struggle with that? Yes. People are ugly on this app and off this app. We're going to run into some ugly people off the app and on the app. Seek genuine connection by being a genuine person. I think it's just how we open up in real life or on TikTok. Exactly. It's what you make it. I'm an open person. I seek deep connection with people. I like to love on people. Can I do everything on TikTok that I could do in real life? No, because I'm an acts of service person. I love to do things for people. I love to cook for people. I love to help them when they're in need. And it's more of an acts versus I don't have all the money in the world to give people. So my connection for people is doing things for them. You need your groceries picked up because you just had surgery? I'm on it. You need someone to come sit with you and have coffee with you? I'm on it. Can that be done on TikTok? Yes, but is it always the same? No. I aim to wear the same hat online that I do in person, yet I struggle to make real friendships. Perhaps it's time where your focus is at right now. If you went out in public right now and you put the same amount of effort and to the 5 people in front of you at the grocery store that you did online, I think you could find 2 good connections right there in the grocery store. Is that hard to do? Absolutely. But if you are as genuine in person as you are on this app, and you make friends here, you can make friends in the real world. Is this easier to do? Why, yes, because maybe our home is where we're comfortable. Sometimes it's getting out of our comfort zone and overcoming baby steps, maybe, in order to beat that. There are people on here that I've gotten close to that know me better than people I know in my everyday life. It's easier to build that connection, right? When it's not taking as much effort because we're in our own home. Maybe we're moms. Maybe we work from home, we stay at home, and we take care of our children. Our effort is in our home. So sitting on here and connecting with each other is a lot easier right now because of the place that we're in life. I've started volunteering to get out of my comfort zone. I don't know anyone, but we share a similar reasoning for wanting to do it, and that's good enough for me. Bingo. So I just told somebody recently they were looking for connection outside of what they are currently doing because they're struggling with how they're seeking connection. And my advice is to go volunteer. You want to help people, you want to feel needed, volunteer. It's huge. You find people to connect with that have the same goals in life as you, maybe. There's a good connection. There's a good start to making great connections with people. There's all different kinds of ways to volunteer. Whether it's a homeless shelter or a woman's home or a children, the advocacy center, whether it's children with disabilities, adults with disabilities, elderly people. Y'all, elderly people have my heart because I speak to so many of them that they just want somebody. I recently spoke to someone who was in their 90s that said, I shouldn't have lived this long because no one's around for me anymore. And I've been there for them for so many years. And I've lived so long that no one's here for me anymore. And I'm sorry to bother you. And I was like, you're not bothering me one bit. I'm so glad you called me. What did you need? And she said, I just needed to be heard. I was feeling depressed. I've lived so long that no one else is here for me anymore. That's terrible. My heart broke for that person. And I hate that. My goal in life is to help people, and elderly often get overlooked. Unless they're in a nursing home. Why do people start conversation, I'm sorry to bother you? Perhaps it's this ugly world that we live in, that they feel like they're such a nuisance to people. You're not bothering me. But you know what? They could have bothered the previous person. It's our old wounds, right? If you said something, wow, look at me, twisted words. If you said something to someone and they took it a bad way and came back at you and attacked you, and that is nothing what you meant, would you say it a different way the next time? Probably. I'm going to visit a nursing home, or if you have Meals on Wheels, going to visit a nursing home or Meals on Wheels is a great way to volunteer. Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, in my job, I've actually asked, can I just show up on their doorstep with a meal? I was told I couldn't do that, but I know where they live. With my job, when you call 911, I know where you live. Tell me your life story. Tell me how much you need somebody. I want to show up, but I can't. I'm not allowed to. I wish I could. Welcome in. Okay. So guys, loneliness doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're human. It's a signal, not a sentence. Every small choice to reach out, to open up, to care for yourself like cracking a window and letting the connection back in, letting that breeze back in. Fresh breath of air. You don't have to change your whole life overnight. Just take it one small step at a time. Sometimes the smallest steps end up being the step that changes everything. Self-evaluation. Why we might be feeling lonely. Maybe we're not feeling lonely right now, but all of us at some point, I'm sure, have felt lonely. Even in a room full of people, a phone full of contacts, a social media with 1 million followers. At some point, we all feel lonely. Why? Because we're desiring a deep connection that is currently not being fulfilled. Right? We have to self-reflect in order to figure out what that connection is or what we're missing. And then we make those steps. Give yourself praise for taking the step to opening up that door again. Yes. Bingo. Give yourself grace too. It's not easy putting ourselves out there, because at one point being vulnerable meant us being taken advantage of. At one point, us putting ourselves out there for someone meant that we got hurt. That was old. This is new. If we don't let healing happen from the previous hurt, and we let the good be good without paranoia of it going bad, we will not find that connection. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Tommy, appreciate you being devil's advocate here. I want to hear other people's opinions. Does what I say always mean it's right? No, it's just my opinion. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a licensed therapist. I am a person who struggles with mental health just like anybody else. Do I have all the right words to say? Absolutely not. But I have all of the presence and support I possibly can to give. Fair. You did more studying than I did. I did a lot of studying, and I've done a lot of homeopathic remedies. But you do telehealth. Well, then I'm going to call you. Mostly gynecology. Well, I think I'm good. I'll have to send Jeremy your way. Vanilla Bear is my #1 patient. You are so vanilla. It's cute. But like I said, I appreciate every single one of you coming, hanging out, listening, talking, asking questions. If you have questions, please ask them. Maybe somebody in the chat, if I don't know what to say, somebody in the chat may. That's cute. I love that. Chocolate fantasy. I love it. Oh my gosh. Don't do that. Don't, oh Lord. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate you. Thanks for all the likes. Thank you for this. What you shared today was what I needed to hear. That fills my cup to the brim. I love when something I say helps somebody else just as much. I love when something I say helps somebody else just as much as it helps me. Thank you for the follow. I followed you back. Absolutely. Thank you for hanging out once again and being an amazing person. Jeremy, I don't know why your hearts got filtered, but okay. That's you did that on purpose. It was a very good live. I was listening even when I had to respond to text. Thank you, Tommy. I really appreciate hearing that from you. I don't know why your opinion matters a lot to me, because you can be teasing sometimes. I shouldn't use the word mean. You like to be mean in a funny way. And that's how I grew up. My dad was that way. If he wasn't picking on you, he didn't love you. Thomas the Train. And I'm the same way. If I'm not joking on you, if I'm not picking on you, at least at some point in our friendship or relationship, you might want to evaluate our friendship. I am okay, Anita. How are you? Tommy, I look up to you. And in other words, I do pick on you, actually. I have several times. I think you're just more focused on Megan picking on you than me. Or I get filtered, one of the two. But Tommy, for some reason, I appreciate your opinion a lot more than you should think. Oh, hello, Anita. How are you? I'm unplugging now. I can hear my ears again. I can hear my ears. I can hear white noise again. Ow! That was my elbow. So what you're saying is you might be in love with me? Okay, I'm not falling in love with my psychiatrist, okay? My TikTok psychiatrist, I am not falling in love with you. If I had glasses right now, I would put them on and ask you if you liked my glasses, but we're not there. No, what I'm saying, Tommy, is I value your opinion. a lot. I'm still trying to figure out why I do. That was me picking on you. I'm sorry. I'm autistic. Sometimes I look like I'm serious when I'm not actually serious. Anita, how was your Sunday? I probably need to go figure out what I'm doing for dinner. Anyone have dinner ideas? I really want salmon. Been out for lunch. I've had a beer. Sounds lovely. I hope you had a wonderful... Jeremy, that's dessert, not dinner. Get it right. Get it right. I need dinner before I have my Hot Pocket, okay? But is it like strawberry cream pie? I'm so glad. Laughing is great medicine, isn't it? It feels good to laugh, especially if you're in good company. Double stacked grilled cheese with American and pepper jack slices with pepperoni in it. Tommy, I actually have... I need sourdough for the double stacked grilled cheese though. I need sourdough, but I have American and pepper jack. No, I don't have American. I have cheddar and pepper jack. And I have salami. Salami's not going to taste good. Especially now that you've got the negative person out of your life. Let's go for boundaries and getting negative people out of our life. Except for Tommy. We must keep Tommy. Tommy is the most positive negative person. Wait, why? Blocked. No, Jeremy said he's blocking me because I said the Hot Pocket was dessert, especially if it's strawberry cream pie. You may not get that. It's okay. I'll explain later. I skipped down the street. It's okay. I'll explain later. I skipped down the street. My heart's skipping a beat for you. Was that after they were put in a body bag or before? I'm about to block you. Ainsley, don't do that. Don't block Tommy. But if you must, because Tommy's toxic for you, I'm here for it. Block him and then unblock him. Not me stirring up. I wonder when Mommy and Daddy are taking us to Tommy's. Hopefully soon. Hopefully soon. But I want to be at Tommy's when Jelly is there. Jellyfish. I said jelly. Why did I say jelly? Jellyfish. Nicole. Middle of October to the end of the year. Deal. I can make a 3-day weekend. You're gonna have to start stretching. Better get to work. Go get some water and some snacks. Gonna have to start stretching. Okay. All right. He's gonna need an attitude adjustment. Look, Tommy is about to be, come January, Tommy's about to be the nicest Tommy you've ever met. Be sure to hydrate. I'm loving all this. I'm loving all of this support for Tommy. Jade, welcome in. Hello, my friend. How are you, beautiful? Casper the Ghost? No. Maybe Tommy's just angry because he hasn't had Nicole and, you know. I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh, his arm came off. I'm just saying, Tommy's about to be the nicest Tommy you ever met after October through the end of the year.
I know it's gonna be hard, Mommy.
Who isn't nicer after some punani? Some Hot Pockets? His arm is not going back in. I almost need a hammer.
He's trying to base.
Oh, we got it. He's trying to what?
Baseball. Play baseball.
He's trying to play baseball in a motorcycle helmet?
That's not a motorcycle, Mommy. That's not, Mommy.
Big foam cloud up north. Oh my god. Jeremy. Okay. Let him go play baseball.
He gets it.
Well, guys, I probably need to hop off here and get my kiddos ready. A lot of geysers in Chicago. Oh my gosh. Are they sulfur geysers? Those stink. I guess I could turn the background. I forgot that I still had that on. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. It's gonna stink. Hasn't been used. Jeremy. Be kind to Tommy. Hey, Donut Lord. I appreciate you hanging out. You have a great rest of your weekend and a good week. Hopefully a good start to your week. Eddie, hello. Speaking of chocolate fantasy, well, I hope you come back. I will be here Wednesday. If anyone wants to send me topics that they want to hear or us talk on, I'm here for it. Chocolate fantasy, Eddie Bear. Hello. You didn't know that we were talking about you earlier? I do go on late sometimes. Wednesday will be later. It'll be probably closer to 8 p.m. Central Standard. Last night I was on till 2:30 a.m. this morning. I don't have a consistency yet. My schedule is wild with my 12-hour shifts and starting nursing school, but hopefully I'll get on some consistency. Nice. Okay, you work night shift. Oh, I used to work night shift. I don't miss it. I'm sure when I graduate from nursing school, I'll be back on the graveyard for a while. But it was nice meeting you. If you need a pole, let me know. Oh my gosh. I got a pole in the barn. Just an offer. Chocolate fantasy in the barn. Caitlin, hello, beautiful. Why is Jeremy in the barn? Jeremy's not in the barn. I was offering Eddie a show barn. Hello, friend. When are you ready to start live streaming? Everyone in the chat, tell Caitlin that she needs to start live streaming with us. I think she would do really well. Tommy Teller. It's always good to dip Oreos in milk. Oreos are disgusting, and so is milk. Oh my gosh, I don't want to co-host. What are you doing? I don't want to battle you, sir. Houston Gliders! Houston! Good morning. No, afternoon. Evening. It's evening. I'm going to need you to go live in the next 240 minutes. Putting me on the spot. Yes, it's really not that hard, my friend. You have the TikTok app already. You just have to click my link in my bio. Join the agency. I give you approval invitation. I'll tell you how to find that invitation in your systems. TikTok will never text you. And then we do a practice go live for 10 minutes only. Or maybe you won't even have to do that. And then we can jump on here and talk back and forth to each other. And I can tell you everything you need to know. It's really easy, I promise. Thanks for the likes, Houston Gliders. Eddie is your Oreo. Jeremy, I was the cream in the middle of y'all's Oreo. And it was like a flip side Oreo, vanilla on the left and chocolate on the right. I'm just one of those that likes to lick the icing off the Oreo and throw the cookie away, so guess I'm weird. Unless it's the lemon cookie. If it's the lemon cookie, I like all of it. Emily Grace, hello. Hi, Emily. How are you? You're okay-ish. I'm glad you're okay. How was school? I said I was getting off, didn't I? Helping a cute old lady. I love that for you. Go help that cute old lady. Jeremy needs to come help his cute old lady. Well, old lady. I wouldn't say cute. Get them digits. 8675309. No, I start school. What is today's date? What is today's date? I start school in 10 days. Jenny. I love you, Jenny. I've never seen that movie a day in my life, but I can quote. Life is like a box of chocolates. Screw you, Jeremy. That's not true because I have a big battle on the 17th and no one's going to let me forget that. Because she's actually a big creator. Oh my god, I'm going to get my butt smoked, but it's fine. 17th to celebrate. 17th to celebrate starting nursing school. No, Tommy, don't do that to me. I am not prepared. And then I start nursing school on the 20th. Hey, I'm so nervous. It is not the 17th. We are not doing this. Why nursing school? Because I like wiping asses, Tommy. You're a cop. I missed that. I should have known that by the name Donut Lord. Why nursing school? I don't know. I really wanted to be a doctor, but I waited too long for that. I don't have the time, nor do I have the money. So a nurse it is. Live out a fantasy, Tommy? Not gonna lie, I was actually thinking about it the other day. This extra house that we have on our property, turning it into a hospice home for hospice care and starting my own business at hospice care. I'm good. How are you, Christian? I want to be the geriatric that falls out of bed. Jeremy, I'm strapping you to the bed so that you can't fall out of bed. Oh! Well, thanks for coming to visit, sir. Good sir. I appreciate you. I was getting off about 15 minutes ago, and somehow I'm still here. So, it's an honor. Well, I will be that geriatric because Alzheimer's and dementia go all the way up the line in the family of females, all the way up to my great-great-grandmother, who they thought was just cuckoo, which she probably was. But every female in my family has had Alzheimer's or dementia, so I will be that person that roams. If they had TikTok, I can send over a dozen nurses that have left the industry because of corporation. Fair. My sister is in cancer research because she hates being an actual nurse. Not because she hates it. She hates working for people that are trying to tell her how to help people that aren't actually helping people. Thank you. Yes. So originally, in the state of Alabama, I can open up a health and wellness, IV supplements and everything as a nurse. Just a plain old RN. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll open up hospice and be a hospice care nurse in the comfort of my home next door. I don't know what I want to do, but I want to help people. Maybe I get the degree and I decide that it's not really what I want to do. And I say that I achieved my lifelong goal to be a nurse, only to realize that the entire medical system is corrupt. I already know that. It's okay. I'm going into this with an open mind of, I know what's wrong with the system. Tommy, I've already paid for all of it. And a part of me is the part that is wrong with me is the fact that the opportunity to be a nurse was taken away from me early by somebody. So now that I have the opportunity to go say that I've at least done it, I want to prove to myself that I can do it. I don't know. It's like a beating of my own chest. I don't know. It's stupid. Stupid reason. I'm not spending that much money to become an RN. It's like less than $10,000 to do something that I've always wanted to do. But hospice is where I want to be. But hospice is where I want to be. I'm going to be in a community school, and the Indians are paying for most of it. If I want my BSN, which eventually I will do, they will also pay for my BSN as long as I keep an AB average, which I usually am an A student. I'm Choctaw, thank you. Dr. Johnson. Hello, Dr. Johnson. I'm being told. Well, here's the thing. Even if I get my RN and I decide that that's not what I want to do, at least I said I did it. Because I get that the medical industry is corrupt. But I don't buy into all of that. I'm on the side of holistics. And I've done my own studying. As many doctors that I've been to that are like, we don't know what's wrong with you. Well, I do. So, tell me how to fix it. They're not going to tell you how to fix it. They're going to tell you how to mask it. How are you, Dr. Johnson? Like this kind of Indian. Oh. Hope nobody saw that. Do I look like an Indian to you? My blonde-haired, blue-eyed children do not look like Indians, but they are card-carrying Indians. Hello, Duffy. All right, I need Duffy. All right, I need to get off. My children are being very quiet, which is abnormal. I don't know what's going on. I'm a little worried. I need to go make sure that they're not like in the pig pen or doing something crazy. Tommy, I appreciate you hanging out. It means a lot. Thank you. Christian, thank you for coming by. Jeremy, I appreciate you doing your job. Emily, it's nice to meet you. Thanks for coming by. Y'all have a good rest of your night. I'm sure I'll see y'all later. Love y'all.